Welcome to Knowledge Hub, where curiosity meets discovery. Dive into a world of fascinating facts, mind-blowing science, and the secrets behind everyday wonders. Get ready to expand your mind and explore topics that spark your imagination. Let's unlock the knowledge together. I find myself in a chilling tale that begins with desperation and betrayal. Picture this: a woman, bound and pleading for her life, as her husband stands over her, a knife glinting ominously in the dim light. The air is thick with dread, and around them lie the lifeless bodies of their daughter and others, victims of his madness. She warns him, her voice trembling, about a devilish book that has ensnared his soul, whispering dark secrets and sinister commands. But he, consumed by a twisted curiosity, opens the book anyway. In a flash, 4 devils emerge, their presence palpable, urging him to commit the unthinkable. In his delusion, he mistakes his wife for a devil herself, and in a moment of horror, he plunges the knife into her. The instant it happens, a wave of guilt crashes over him, but it's too late. The devils, having played their cruel game, turn on him, sealing his fate. It's a tragic spiral of love turned to madness, a reminder of how easily one can be led astray by darkness. Now, let's shift to a different kind of struggle, Cinderella's. She's trapped in a life of servitude, mistreated by her stepmother and stepsisters, forced to live as a maid after the loss of her mother. Each day is a battle against their cruelty, yet she holds on to hope. One day, while tending to an injured maid, she confides her dreams of escape, waiting for her father's return to rescue her from this nightmare. Then, the royal family arrives, searching for suitors for Cinderella's stepsisters. Amidst the chaos, the prince's gaze lands on Cinderella. There's an instant connection, a spark that ignites something deep within her. He invites her to a royal dance, a chance to break free from her chains, but it also stirs jealousy in her stepsister Ingrid. The tension builds as Cinderella prepares for the dance, knowing it could change her life forever. In this intertwining of fates, we see the stark contrast between love and betrayal, hope and despair. Cinderella's journey is one of resilience, while the other tale serves as a cautionary reminder of the darkness that can lurk within. Both stories remind us of the power of choice and the consequences that follow, whether we succumb to darkness or rise to embrace the light. I never thought my life would spiral into chaos like this. It all started when Ingrid, my stepsister, decided to spill the beans to our mother about the prince's interest in me. I was just a maid, invisible to the world, but suddenly, I was thrust into a spotlight I never wanted. The punishment was swift and brutal. I was locked away, forced to endure the weight of their jealousy and spite. Then came that horrifying night. I stumbled upon the maid's lifeless body, a sight that haunts me still. I was paralyzed with fear, but I knew I had to act. I had to hide the evidence, to protect myself from the wrath of Ingrid and our mother. It was a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. In my despair, I wandered into the forest, seeking solace. That's when I found it, the evil book, its pages whispering promises of power and transformation. I was desperate, willing to grasp at any chance to escape my grim reality. And then he appeared, the devil himself, offering me 3 wishes. It felt like a twisted fairy tale, but I was ready to play the game. My first wish? To attend the royal party. In an instant, I was transformed into a beautiful princess, my rags replaced with a gown that shimmered like starlight. I felt alive, radiant, and for the first time, I believed I could be seen. The moment I stepped into that grand hall, all eyes were on me. And then there he was, the prince. We danced, lost in a world of our own, the music swirling around us. But just as I thought I could grasp happiness, Ingrid struck. She revealed my feelings for him, tearing apart the fragile illusion I had built. The prince's gaze turned cold, his rejection cutting deeper than any blade. My heart shattered in that moment, exposed and vulnerable. I ran, tears streaming down my face, clutching my diary, the one place where my true feelings lay bare. It was my secret, my solace, but now it felt like a weapon against me. How could he not see the love I held for him? How could he turn away so easily? In that moment of heartbreak, I realized the darkness I had invited into my life. The wishes I thought would bring me joy had only led to despair. I was left with a choice: to succumb to the shadows or to rise from the ashes of my shattered dreams. The path ahead was uncertain, but I knew one thing: I would fight for my heart, for my story, and for the love that had been cruelly snatched away.
I stood there, surrounded by laughter, but it wasn't the kind that warmed my heart. No, it was the cruel kind, the kind that cuts deep. Ingrid, with her perfect smile, pointed at me, her friends joining in, their giggles echoing like daggers. I felt the heat rise in my chest, anger bubbling just beneath the surface. How could they mock me? I was just trying to enjoy the night, but instead, I was the punchline of their twisted joke. In that moment, something inside me snapped. I wished for revenge, a dark thought creeping into my mind. I wanted them to feel the pain they had inflicted on me. I closed my eyes and whispered my wish, a desperate plea for justice. The air grew heavy, and suddenly, the devil appeared, his voice smooth and tempting. You can have your revenge, but know this: you'll become just like them. I didn't care. I was tired of being the victim, tired of being the one who always took the high road. I agreed, feeling a surge of power coursing through me. I could feel the transformation happening, my heart hardening, my spirit darkening. I was no longer Cinderella. I was something far more dangerous. With my glass shoes, I became a force of vengeance. The party that once felt like a prison now turned into my hunting ground. I moved through the crowd, my heart racing with exhilaration. One by one, I targeted those who had wronged me. Ingrid, with her mocking laughter, was the first to fall. I could see the shock in her eyes as I approached, the realization dawning too late. Next, my parents, those who had always pushed me aside, who had never stood up for me. They looked at me with confusion, but I felt no remorse. They had played their part in my suffering, and now it was time for them to pay. The glass shoes glinted in the dim light, a reminder of the beauty that had once been my prison. As I moved through the chaos, I felt alive, powerful. Each scream, each gasp of horror fueled my rage. I was no longer the girl who waited for a fairy tale ending. I was the nightmare that haunted their dreams. I had become the very thing I despised, but in that moment, it didn't matter. I was free, and I would make them all pay for their cruelty. In the end, I stood amidst the ruins of my former life, a chilling silence replacing the laughter that once filled the air. I had my revenge, but at what cost? I had become a monster, and as I looked around at the devastation, I realized that I was now trapped in a different kind of prison, one of my own making. As chaos erupts around me, I can feel the weight of desperation pressing down. My stepsister, Ingrid, is scrambling to escape, her eyes wide with panic. But fate has other plans. She's caught, and I can't help but feel a twisted sense of satisfaction. Yet, my own desperation drives me to a dark place. I need to fit into those shoes, those perfect, magical shoes. In a moment of madness, I take the knife and cut off my toes, the pain sharp and blinding. I can't believe what I've done, but the thought of losing my chance at happiness pushes me forward. I shove my foot into the shoe, but it's too late. The blood spills, and I watch in horror as Ingrid falls lifeless. I've killed my own sister for a chance at a dream. And then there's the prince. He's supposed to be my savior, but in this twisted tale, he's only looking out for himself. He betrays Ingrid, thinking he can escape the chaos. But the devils lurking in the shadows have other plans. They strike him down, and I stand there, frozen, as the life drains from his eyes. Now, only my stepmother remains, her laughter echoing in my ears like a haunting melody. She taunts me, reminding me of my father's death, of the pain that has followed me like a shadow. Rage ignites within me, a fire I can no longer contain. I lunge at her, the knife still slick with blood, and in a heartbeat, she's gone. With each kill, I feel a strange power surging through me. The devils, once my enemies, now approach me with a proposition. They offer me a place among them, but I refuse to be their slave. I will not bow to anyone. Instead, I turn on their leader, the one who thought he could control me. With a swift strike, I take him down, and suddenly, the tides have turned. The devils, once my captors, now look to me as their new leader. I can feel their eyes on me, a mix of fear and respect. I've become something more than just a girl in a story. I am the embodiment of vengeance, power, and defiance. In this world of chaos, I will carve my own path, and no one will stand in my way.
If you enjoy what you see, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your support means the world and helps us create even more amazing content for you.